All right. Whoa. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Monday evening. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting us set up here, and we'll get down to the painting. All right. So, hope you guys are enjoying a nice long 3-day weekend. I certainly had a pretty good weekend, all things considered. And now we're going to do a little bit of painting. So let's go ahead and set up my comment section here, and let's see who shows up and who wants to chat. And let's do that. What's the camera app? This is probably, yep, this shows as bad on my watch page. No, not bad. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. All right. So haven't picked up a commission since that Batman commission, and now I'm just sort of painting like odds and ends, like stuff that is really cool but not necessary for my gaming. But I am going to be painting this guy here, who is a legendary Blackheart. So the Legends sculpts were basically the old Kickstarter sculpts that they re-released for Black Friday this past Christmas season. So you can see here's Legendary Honor, and you see I did her in the white and blue armor that I did my classic Masons team, and she's a cool model. So gonna have some fun putting her on the table at some point. At some point, if I can stop playing Alchemist, at some point I will play her. This guy here is going to be painted in my Union team's colors, which are actually different than the standard Union gray and red. Hey, what's up, Nelson? He's Doctor or Engineer. Yes. But yeah, we're gonna paint. He does look very. Look at this. He looks very judgmental and very Asian in this iteration. So I'm really excited for it because he does look very Asian, ready to judge all who oppose him. So I'm gonna, instead of painting the majority color, which is blue, like he's my Union team is like a navy and a gold. And so instead of painting the navy color, which is most of the model, I'm gonna airbrush the gold color. And the reason why I would do that is because when you're airbrushing, it's very good common practice to do the most common color, but in this case, it's easy to paint blue over gold than it is to paint gold over blue. Because if you paint gold over blue, you're going to get like a green, too much of a green hue. So we're going to go ahead and get this going. Not going to be too much airbrushing tonight because, you know, you can see he's already primed. It's just a matter of getting that gold color down. So anyways, what are you up to, Nelson? What are you up to, Nelson? Let's see. So I actually want a good rich brown undercoat, and I think this is going to be my undercoat here. He looks like Cow. He does actually. Oh, sorry, South. Yes, I'm used to the old English dub for Dynasty Warriors 4 and 5 when they called him Cow. And then in the English dub, they didn't start calling him South, I think, until like Dynasty Warriors 6, when somebody pointed out, like, that's not how you pronounce it, guys. And sadly, I still call him Cow because I'm used to that. Uh, I'm used to that pronunciation because I am not Chinese enough to say Sao Sao. Sao Sao. But yeah. Yeah, he's a cool model. Very super fun captain to play. Like super fun captain to play. And me and Aaron consider him like one of the best, one of the most underground secrets in all of Guild Ball, as far as playing a fun captain and a very good captain. This guy here, Blackheart, he has got mad skills. He's one of my favorite captains to play in the game. He does a lot of like ball jank, but also he's just a great generalist captain. He's got crazy ball jank like Plastic Man stuff. I think I was playing like the Plastic Man style during season 3. But in addition to that, he's also a very good control model and a decent beater model, right? I mean, Blackheart can get you the 6 VP activation. So he's got like Blackheart's pretty baller. I'm just gonna. So he is gonna be like blue and gold. That doesn't really so much look like South South to me. The weapon definitely is like how they depict South South's weapon. I am painting him in way colors, that sort of blue and gold color. Trying to remember what character he really looks like to me. What Dynasty Warriors character? I mean, if he had a glaive, he could look like. I would say he looks like Guan Yu or something like that. Like South Side I could see, but I think a lot of that's just due to the weapon. Look at how willing this guy is to judge you. I am willing to judge you. You will not be good enough to play Guild Ball in my presence. So what you been up to, Nelson? I see you guys recently had a Star Wars Legion event. That looked kind of cool. You know what we've been up to? We've been playing all that Guild Ball. Me and Blade Wolf. Blade Wolf actually came down today. We played a game. It was a good game. He ended up winning that with his fish. He beat my Alchemist 12-8. Super fun, just goal scoring shootout type game. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It's working a lot back to the 5:30. Oh gosh. Yeah, I usually start work at 6:30. 5:30 is a bit much. Although I think I could do it. Right? I'm a morning guy, so I could probably swing that. It might just be bravado talking, but I do think I could swing that. So I'm gonna build up this gold color a little bit. He has such small feet. Yeah, I only sleep about 5 hours a day. I don't know. I know you're supposed to get more sleep than that, but that's just kind of how my body functions. Well, that's not really true. I've been lately I've been sleeping like I've only been painting every other night instead of every night, and that's allowed me to go to sleep a little earlier some nights. So I don't always get 5 hours. Sometimes I get like 6 or even 7 hours of sleep a night. Sometimes. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. Now let's do. I'm wondering if I should go ahead and try to do little tiny little spots. I don't think so. I think with this type of, with how small these gold pieces are, I think I do the rest of the gold by hand here. But what I can do right now is I can actually work on the sword a little bit, and this is a very easy thing to do. I'm just gonna do a little spot of white towards the bottom. Just a tiny little spot of white, right? Let me just try to cover up that spot right there, right? There we go. And I can even, I guess if I wanted to, I could do that, right? I could just do a tiny little bit of light, like white. Right along the tops of the gold. Just like that. There you go. There. Without losing too much of the integrity of that gold. Okay. Pretty simple color scheme on this guy. But yeah, got in some Guild Ball today. That was fun. And we're prepping for next Sunday, which is going to be a Guild Ball tournament. And the prize for this Guild Ball tournament is I'm actually going to be giving away a ticket to Kingdom Con. So Kingdom Con coming up in April, where I'll be hosting an event I'm calling the Kingdom Cup. The Kingdom Cup was what we named it back in 2016 or 2015 when we started Guild Ball at Kingdom Con. This was Phil and myself. This was exclusively a Play It Painted event, and so we hosted the first convention Guild Ball tournament on the West Coast, and we called it the Kingdom Cup because when you're at Kingdom Con, you will drink. You tend to drink a lot, and so we named it the Kingdom Cup. We were gonna get a big old like metal cup for you to drink out of, when you won. But I think we got lazy or we were too hungover to go get an actual cup. It just didn't work out that first year, and we ended up handing out a regular plastic Kingdom Con cup. And if you want to know, like here on my desk, I have a Kingdom Con cup. I'm gonna actually take my little water cup out of it. It's just kind of the koozie for my water cup. You can see got a lot of paint and stuff on it, but this is a Kingdom Con cup, and you can get these at Kingdom Con. I think they cost $1. And so when we had the first Kingdom Cup, if you didn't win any games, you actually won the Kingdom Cup, and we would fill it with a beer and hand it to you. Times have changed a bit, and now we're going to be we're going to be actually awarding a cup, like a decent cup, to the winner. All right. And so since you guys are watching this, I'm going to share. I'm not 100% certain what the Kingdom Cup will be, but I do have. Here, I'll show. I did actually go out and pick up. I picked up a mug. Like I picked up this really cool pewter mug. Aren't people so belligerent? No, 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 no. Kingdom Con is it's funny because yeah, there's a lot of people drinking, but there's like never a fight. There's like no altercations at Kingdom Con. Everybody is so drunk and happy that no, it's not like I committed one of the worst sins you could do at Kingdom Con. The first year I went to Kingdom Con, I was hosting Malifaux tournaments all weekend long. And one of the things I did was actually refuse to drink with some people. There was a group that was like, hey, man, we heard of you. We want to have a drink with you. And they poured me this really awful looking heavy liquor that I just had no interest in. And I was running a Malifaux tournament. And I was like, guys, I'd love to drink with you, but I'm hosting a tournament right now. I need to keep my focus, right? So, but yeah, that's like the worst thing you could do at Kingdom Con is like not sharing a drink with somebody. So if you don't want to drink the hard liquor, what I like to do at Kingdom Con is I walk around with a bottle of sake, and I'll do a shot of sake, and they can drink what they want, and you know we're all happy. But so this is this really sick pewter mug I picked up, right? You know, you can call it a stein, but it's a mug, right? It's got this Celtic banding on it. It's engravable, so we can do like I can do the SoCal Guild Ball logo here, and then on the bottom I could put Kingdom Cup 2019 on there. So it's important for the Kingdom Cup to be functional. It's important because that's one of the things you do at Kingdom Con. Well, there's really only two things you do at Kingdom. Well, three. There's three things you do at Kingdom Con. One is you drink. Two is you game, and three is you occasionally eat, shit, or sleep. Because usually that's what you're doing at Kingdom Con. So it's very important. You can't just have like the Kingdom Cup and then have like a fake like trophy cup. That's not going to suffice. Like that doesn't do anyone any good. People are going to want to drink from the Kingdom Cup. So I'm looking at that. There may be another like mug or stein that I go with. It does have to be engravable, and because it's Kingdom Con, I don't want a modern design, right? Like I picked that mug because it has a like a medieval design to it. So so yeah, okay. So we're gonna give the Blackheart here a very very rough dry brush, and then we'll actually start painting him in. I just need I need something to pick up edges, right? Edges on the sword, edges on like hard armor bits, and that kind of stuff. All right. So I'm gonna just do a dry brush there. You can see how it's catching the center of the blade there. So you guys got a little glimpse of what the Kingdom Cup might be. Like that mug might end up being the Kingdom Cup. And if it's not the Kingdom Cup, it's going to be a mug that I walk around with and drink out of. But that's kind of the idea. You want to have a good cup like that people are going to want to like walk around with, make toasts with. It's got to be that level. Otherwise, it doesn't really represent the convention. It doesn't really represent what Kingdom Con is. Okay, so there we go. So you can see the edges picking up there. Let's continue the dry brush back here. Pick up the edges here. So that's all we're trying to do. Just pick up edges. Because we want this to look fairly convincing when you start to ink it and paint it and all that good stuff. It's already starting to look right. Like that is correct. We're just gonna, what we're gonna do with the gold is we're really gonna shade it down. Okay. It looks right on the sword. Sword is looking good. Okay. All right. Now the suck part, let's paint some eyes. I hate painting eyes. Especially, this guy's got teeny little eyes. He does have tiny Asian man eye. He have tiny Asian man eye. Gonna judge you for what you're doing, or more importantly, what you're not doing with your life, which is being doctor or engineer. You need to be engineer or doctor. I'm telling you right now. Otherwise, who have time for you? Oh, Blackheart. He is a fantastic captain now. It is absolutely shocking to me that more people aren't playing Blackheart. He's one of my top 3 captains in the whole game. Super mobile, good goal scoring threat, good, reasonably good takeout threat, excellent control piece. His legendary is shitballs good. And like I said, shocked that people are not playing this guy. Why am I not playing this guy? Because I'm playing Midas. Because somebody has to figure out how to use shitty Midas this season. Dear God. Somebody. I'm going to keep taking Midas to the monthly tournament. And I'm just trying to get better with him. Which is, sadly, it's an exercise in getting better with the team, not so much getting better with Midas. It's like the better I'm doing with the team, the less influence and the less I'm actually putting on Midas towards a victory. This morning, I tried to record the next part in my Mediocre Midas series on YouTube. And his eyes are too sunken in. Not even going to work, is it? Might, but I don't think so. He has this model has some of the smallest eyes I've ever seen. And believe me, I have seen some tiny ass eyes on models. That's not bad there. Just paint it in as one long white stripe. Not bad. White stripe there, and a white stripe here. Man, that guy's eyes are tiny. How do you expect me to read with these tiny eyes? Okay. So I'm gonna basically just drop pupils in where they should be. And then my hope is we can actually shape these eyes the way they're supposed to be shaped. It doesn't look like it. I think even after I shape the eyes, you won't be able to see his eyes. That is how Asian looking this model is. You will not be able to see his eyes. That might be all the more intimidating though, because then it for sure you know these tiny little eyes are judging you, right? These tiny little eyes are wondering why you're not in medical school right now. And why don't you already have your engineering degree? That's what those tiny little eyes are saying right now. Who do you think you are? Actually, it's pretty convincing. I'm pretty convinced he is definitely upset with me for not being Asian enough. Okay, so let's do. Where's his? What do you mean? You're just gonna take a good job? But yeah, these models are so fun to paint. They really are. Okay. So now let's go ahead and shape these eyes. You guys have any current events or anything you want me to rant about or give an uninformed opinion on, or if you want to talk Guild Ball, more than happy to do that. You know, it's no surprise that has been our obsession for some time now. I would say the Guild Ball fever was at its height in the summer, but right now it's still pretty high. But right now the issue is we need more people playing. Like we need locally, our group is strong, but we're not growing much. Like we haven't really added um any like appreciable number of players. I feel like we've actually lost. Well, we've lost some of our casual player base. And I might attribute that to, the rise of more competitive play within the group, like everyone trying to get better, and the means of getting better is to just keep playing your reps, keep playing cleaner. And when you have a super hardcore group, like a super hardcore faction within a group that's just pushing to get better and better and better, um, that's not going to leave a lot of opportunities for wins for casual players, and it can be very difficult. It can be a very difficult thing for a new player to kind of try to come into and thrive in that type of environment where everybody is really really strong and on their game. So there have been a few people brave enough to stay on board and stay with it, and they've committed to wanting to get better and better at the game. So kudos to guys like Thomas and Aaron. Aaron has turned the corner. He's a lot better now. Chris has turned a corner. He's a lot better now. These used to be, these were guys that were pretty. They're fairly casual at the beginning, and they learned, and now they're doing pretty well. Let's see. Since we're talking about Asians, China just removed prejudice. Oh yeah, jeez, yeah, that's pretty terrifying. And C. Yeah, for sure. I totally get that. I think even I even get that feeling, that sense from Mark too. And Mark plays a fair bit too. That he gets a lot of times. It's like he's not. It can be tough to when you're the casual player and everybody is racking up these great games and that kind of stuff. And what I try to do is I specifically want to play the newer players. Like I specifically want to play people that want to play learning games, people that want to get better at the game, that kind of stuff. Specifically because I think, playing. They're going to be players that you want to play that are just phenomenally better than you at the game, right? Like if you play Kevin, for example, playing Kevin is a very good game. You're going to lose, but you're probably going to learn some stuff. And the difficulty there is, absorbing the lesson and then trying to emulate it. And you might not actually get an opportunity to emulate it against Kevin. You'd have to emulate it against another player. So you got to play Kevin. Okay, Kevin taught me how to do this. Like he taught me how to set up a player to murder a player. Cool. Okay, great. Now, now you need a player to try that out against. Because if you try it against Kevin, he just showed you the move, right? He's not gonna lose that move to you. So you kind of have to learn the game in. I think you have to kind of learn the game in layers, right? There's the fundamentals of the game: how to kick the ball, how to pass, how to how to do a charge move, how to attack. Those are the easy, those are the rules that are very easy to learn, right? They're very easy to learn, and then, but like the saying goes, easy to learn, difficult to master. So there's rules, the basic rules of the game, very easy to learn, can be very difficult to master. And I like to say that the difference between a newbie player and the difference between a newbie player and the difference between an intermediate player is probably between, I'm just going to say, 0 to 6 mistakes per game. And I hate to use the word mistakes, but that's the best way to describe it, right? You're doing something in the game that's within the game mechanics that everybody has mastered, but it's not, they're in the game mechanics, so everybody has mastered them, but they're not, but it's not the most efficient way to do it, right? For example, one things that was pointed out today to a new player was the new player walked up first and then kicked a pass to somebody that he was previously standing next to. And while that move isn't technically wrong, it's inefficient, right? So the word of advice would be, okay, if you want to do that, kick the ball first and then walk, because if you miss, well, two reasons. 1, you get a tap-in bonus for being closer. 2, if you miss, it's easier to correct. You still have your advance after you pass. So it's small things like that, right? Maybe I'll say the difference between a new player and a mediocre player is we'll say it's between 0 and 10 0 and 10 miscalculations, I guess is the way to put it, right? Suboptimal ways of doing things. The difference between a mediocre player and an excellent player is probably, 0 to 4 things. Like they know just a little bit, they know a little bit more of the nuance than a mediocre player plays. They know they're going to play a much tighter game, a much cleaner game. And then the difference between, a a a good player, a very good player, and like a top tier player is going to be the minutia of like 2 to 3 things. That's it, max per game. That's how tight the rules are, right? Like there's the correct way of doing it, which is the entry level. Then you have a decent way of doing it. Then you have a very good way of doing it, and then you have the absolutely clean, like professional way of doing it. And so those are the things that need to be those are what you're navigating through, and that's why like when it clicks and you get the game, you will automatically want to play more. You will automatically want to get better because you realize that you're like, okay, that was really cool. My eyes are open. I figured out how to do something that's really neat, and it's not like a regular skirmish game because it's not so linear, right? A regular skirmish game, the lessons that you learn there are like, oh, I take this model over this model because this model does something better. That's it. That's what you learn most of the time. It's like, okay, I take this model and I give it this equipment because this. In Guild Ball, you learn other types of minutia. Like you learn, okay, here's the right triangulation for passing. Here's what I need to be aware of when I'm lining up. It's usually very small things. It's very small things, and I have players that are better than me that they'll watch my games and go, "Well, why didn't you just do it this way?" And they defend their answer like because this is lower odds, this is tighter, and the idea I had in my head was not incorrect. It was I could have done it a little cleaner. I could have done it a little more precise, right? The manner in which I approached doing some operation that I was trying to do on the board was a very, very small thing. It's a very small fraction of maneuvering. Yeah, the only thing I feel in Guild Ball is they definitely need to know every team's strength as much as my own team. That's true. That's true to an extent. It's true to an extent. It's a great idea to, become familiar with all the players in the game. But I don't think, unless you're going to really play top level competition, like, Nathan likes to say that. He's like, you have to, if you're going to play hunters, if you're going to play, especially, and he's right with regards to control teams, it's extremely important to know like all the players that you're up against. But I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to have things memorized. I think you. I think all that sort of comes with experience. I don't think memorizing it is the way. I think you ask to look at the other guy's card and you understand. It's more important for you to understand the concepts on the card than it is to have it memorized, right? Because you can memorize the number of players that have unpredictable movement, right? And you can, okay, these are all the players in the game that have unpredictable movement. Like you can memorize that. and there's nothing wrong with that. But the more important thing is to be able to ask a player, hey, let me see the card for this guy that I would really love to attack, and then decide, and then look at and see unpredictable movement, and then understand how you would go about attacking that model, right? And it's not even just that, too, because you go, okay, unpredictable movement. This model has unpredictable movement. You also need to know what's the melee range of the model, because an unpredictable 1-inch model, an unpredictable movement model that has a 1-inch melee is dealt with differently than an unpredictable model that has 2-inch melee, right? A lot of stuff that's going to work on the 1-inch model is not going to work on the 2-inch model. So you have to deal with them differently. So it's not just a matter of memorizing what's on the guy's card. You kind of have to understand the concept of, okay, that's an unpredictable 2-inch model, and how do I deal with that? I'm going to give this guy some Asian skin. He is going to have Asian skin. You will see. If I can find it. Golden skin. It looks too yellow. It does. It looks too yellow. let's use it. And it doesn't look that bad, actually. This is golden skin. Yeah, I think that comes at I think the whole idea of trying to learn the models to that level comes at very much like the top end of play, right? Like I can play my alchemist team without ever really having to look at the cards. Like I know everything that they do. I know all their ranges. I know all that kind of stuff. I can also play against most teams and most players without having to study their cards. Like I have a general idea on another person's team. You know, who are the deep goal threats? Who are the beaters? Who are the takeout guys? What do I have to worry about regarding the captain? And then, what my generic plan for victory is going to be. So you don't need to memorize the cards, but it's very important for you to understand, to be able to look at a card and figure out what that player is designed to do. That's way more important, actually. Like, you want to know, it's more than just stats. You want to know, does this model have a good counterattack? Is this model going to take a lot of effort to take out? Is this model a credible goal threat? Those are the things that you need to be able to decipher, and you can learn how to do that by studying your own cards and understanding what your own cards tell you about the players that you're running, and then just applying that same sort of logic when you're looking to play somebody else, or you're looking at somebody else's cards. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and drop all the shadow on the gold. So this should look rather interesting for a minute here. So I have an umber ink glaze that I like to use for this. And generally, you like to start in the shadows, and you kind of brush out over the model. And then you use a little water to keep things moving around. Right. So I'm actually going to use this all over the model. Kind of get that That's the thing about Guild Ball. Like you, I was telling people the other day is like people get it's like it is like playing a sport for the first time and really understand like really enjoying it and going, okay, I don't it's you get to a point where you say it's I need to be more than I need to do more than just understand how to play this sport. I want to play it well. That's what Guild Ball does. And it's a blessing and a curse because like you say, from the casual standpoint, um, you're walking into a group of hardcore players, hardcore gamers that all really want to get good at Guild Ball, right? If you're a regular player of Guild Ball, you can be a regular Guild Ball player and a casual player. But even then, if you are the quote unquote regular casual Guild Ball player, your goal is still to get as good as you can possibly get in the game. Your investment in time and maybe money in terms of buying more teams may not be as uh, fervent as the like competitive player, but your thirst to understand the game better is going to be extremely strong, regardless. If you like Guild Ball, you will, in my opinion, you will naturally want to be good at it. And being good at Guild Ball is going to drive you to doing some of these more, we'll say, some of the engaging in some of the more, um, we'll say, hardcore behaviors of more hardcore players, studying cards, looking at lineups. Um, one of the biggest. Hey, what's up, David? One of the biggest bits of advice one of the best bits of advice I've heard about learning Guild Ball when you want to learn Guild Ball is you should play a bunch of first turns, right? You don't even need to play the entire game. You should play a bunch of first turns because that's what really kind of gets you in the preparation mode for how the game is going to go. And having a good solid first turn is super important. Having a good kick routine and a receive routine is very important to having a good game of Guild Ball. You shouldn't expect at a moderate level of play, you should not expect to be able to just sort of wing your first turn, your kick, and your receive. You shouldn't be able to do that. And well, I should say you shouldn't expect to be able to do that and stand a good chance of winning the game. Not unless the other player is also going to do that. And that's pretty rare, right? You'd have to both be pretty new players to play like that. Right? Even when I play new players and I'm not playing at my like most competitive potential, I should say. I still have a plan, first and second turn. I still have a kick return, kick receive plan, and a kicking off plan with the guilds I play most regularly. And when I move into new guilds, when I picked up engineers and started playing them, that was one of the first things I had to work on too. Was like, okay, what's the kick protocol? What's the receive protocol? Right? What am I really after here? Okay. So cool. Pretty cool. Let's let the So now he looks all gold, which is kind of cool. And we'll let that dry and we'll let that dry and then we'll go back and highlight it. Right now, let's go ahead and do hair. So the plan with the gold is to highlight the gold. This is not a new camera. It's actually the same camera I've been using. I think I just changed the. Sometimes I just change the angle or whatever. And he's got these pretty wicked sideburns that come down like that. It's weird that that's defaulted to top chat. It shows me nothing because I guess YouTube does not consider what you guys to be doing top chat. Kind of bullshit. Sure. Okay. Let's give it. He's got a little bit of a mustache here. There we go. That's awful. Man, this guy just looks so Asian now. He looks so Asian. Oops. All right. Okay. Right. There you go. So now let's start doing in the dark blue. And like I said, they have the union I have is they have a different color scheme than the studio scheme. It's really like a dark blue with this gold. Where the hell is that sweet, sweet dark blue? That Reaper dark blue. Anyone see? Shocked that I would have put it back, but I did. Or was I using? Actually, I was using Prussian blue for honor. We're going to use Vitalik blue. Ritterlich blue. I don't know what that means. It should be a nice blue. And this is a really nice complement to the gold color. It's should help the gold color really stand out. Okay. So those bits, basically all the cloth bits of the model that are not gold are this blue color. Which is quite a bit, actually. You can see it there. Also here. Well. Get that Dynasty Warrior guitar riff going in my head. You know what I'm talking about. Anyone who's played any of the Dynasty Warrior games knows what I mean when I say I've got that Dynasty Warriors guitar riff going in my head. Yeah, so it's a lot of tough angles to work on this piece because he's holding a giant sword out in front of his body. Great looking model though. Only two main colors here, but that's all you really need for a model this cool. And now that the blue's coming in, you can see what I mean by like why I went with airbrushing gold instead of blue. Because it's much harder to get to paint gold over this than it is to paint blue, and I messed up right there. See if I can clean it up a little bit. It's like good enough. Should be able to fix that with the rest of sad thing is if the arms ever pop off, you will see how badly I painted the tabard under all this. Because I cannot get to all the areas of the tabard. Can only get to certain areas. Right? Alright. Okay. So then you can see this. So again with this blue, it's like the paint's a little thin. That's okay. Still works. It's just a really nice contrast to the gold. And like I said, we'll highlight the gold up a little bit, punch it up a little bit. Not much. The armor will punch up a little bit more. The detail on the cloak, probably not so much. Oh. Just kind of cleaning up where you screw up. There we go. Okay. I do really like this sort of detail he's got on him. The design. Super cool. So I like this a lot better than the red and gray that you see in the studio paint. I like this scheme. It's cleaner, and for some reason, to me, it just speaks more about Blackheart's character. Right. And now we're just gonna get all the fine detail all up in that business there. Okay. You can see this blue is not covering as well as it might, so probably we'll come back in and hit it with a second coat. Blue. Woo! Especially there, because the blue is just turning into liquid. Whoa. Sometimes these deep colors get super thin. Do you like my cape? 100% silk from Bangladesh. Better than Dr. Engineer. Yeah, it is pretty sweet. It's kind of shocking to me that there are some players like Blackheart and Obulus that play Guild Ball with full cloaks, like what they're wearing. Kind of nuts. There you go. Nice steady hand. Thanks, CNH. How's it going, man? Long time no see. I do not have a steady hand. I really don't. I actually have a tremor in my right hand. But I don't know. You just get you paint so long for so many years, you don't even notice that you have a slight tremor anymore. You just kind of work around it. That's been my experience with it. You just kind of work. It just that little shake just fades off into the background. You're too busy trying to, you know, trying to do a decent job on the mini itself. Okay. You working on anything cool right now, CNH? Okay. Yeah, thanks, Dawson. I do quite like this color scheme. It's pretty cool. You haven't painted anything in 3 years. Wow. Wow. Well, you're watching painting. Does that count? It kind of counts. A little bit. Kind of counts. Let's do. All right. So we're gonna do little bit of armor wash here on the blade. Oh, I actually have a better wash than that. So the blade's looking a little too bright right now. So let's use some of this armor wash here. There you go, and you can see it's getting the color down. We'll get back to it for sure, man. I know you haven't. It's been a long time since you put a video out, or if you have been putting out videos, then they're not showing up in my feed. But I don't think you've been putting videos out. All right, so let's clean up the bottom of the blade there. There you go. It's looking pretty cool. The blue looks pretty good. I think we're gonna go back and start to highlight some of the. Well, before we do that, actually, I'm actually gonna take some of this black and go into the armor, because I need the armor. The actual like metal parts should have the highest level of contrast, right? You should be able to tell the difference between what's armor and what's just the design, like the gold pattern design on his cloak. So part of that is to really drop the shade into the armor, like really give the armor as much contrast as you can. So it's really just the gloves here and the greaves, and then we will go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and highlight those when that's dry. I think that's about it. Ever since the young lad got big, he's 19. Oh my gosh, I can't believe your son is 19. That's wild. I still remember watching your guys' videos together. He was young. You guys were building, I forget the name of that town, that Malifaux town that you guys designed. That was so cool. And now that kid is 19. Wow. That is wild. All right. Knock 'em flats. Very cool. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to apply a very, very thin down highlight. Get just a little gold highlight, really. On the cloth parts, right? I want the cloth parts to be brighter. And we'll do it on the gold parts, but the gold parts, like I said, we're really going to drive contrast on those. You're off to work? All right. Thanks for stopping by, man. Take care. Have a good day at work. Okay. And so now you can see You can see the gold coming in a little bit better. We're going to really kind of concentrate this towards the top end part of the model. And just kind of fade it down. There we go. And down here as well. Right. This kind of stuff is super fun for me to paint, though. It's just like a really cool character that I like, and especially since I did this color scheme, this is my own color scheme here, rather than the studio color scheme. I tend to have more fun doing that kind of stuff. Okay. There we go. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. All right. Let's get a little bit of the yellow, this yellow gold back in some of the armored areas, but not all. Because what's really going to make the armored areas stand out is the next highlight that's coming down. A nice little differentiator there. Okay, and so the last color to go down is not, I forget, is it ice? No, it's not ice white. And it's not this. It's too, well, it might work actually. If I go thin enough with it, it might actually work. I don't know. It's an awful, awful yellow. Awful yellow? Let's see. Let's see if that's going to work. Let's make it as stupidly thin as possible. And then we're just going to try it on a few edges here. See if that. Wow, that's a pretty bright color. It might work. If I can just get edges. Ooh, yeah, I don't know. I think I let them, I would just let this dry and then determine. I think that's right though. Yeah, I think that's actually what we want. Super bright yellow on the armor. You can tell that the armor has like a gold gleam to it. There you go. So we only use it in a few spots, but don't know why his feet are kind of standing off. They're kind of weird. He's like kind of floating on a little thing here. Yeah. I know it doesn't look like it's pretty subtle. Highlight's pretty subtle. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for right there. I want that gold look. That non-metallic gold look right there. And I don't think I would use that much on here. Let's try it up here. See if that... It helps a little bit. It helps with this a little bit, but I don't want to give the impression like that this is anything other than fancy cloth. So I probably don't want to go too overboard with this stuff. Right? It's not bad. Okay. Now, probably the weirdest part of this model is painting the purple base, which makes no sense. But that's how I denote my Union players, is they have a purple base. So I gotta find... I don't remember if I don't think I used this purple. I think I used that. I think I used the... Definitely don't use that purple. But I should have... Is it that purple? No, it's this purple. This is the purple, yeah. Yeah, good. Okay. So I use this heavy violet to lift the base. Oh, before I do that, actually, I like to do a little line back here to kind of denote that that this is a gill ball pitch, right? And this is like the edge of a gill ball pitch. Honor has one too. And I started doing this on all like the Iskiri wolves and stuff, just to reinforce that idea that the model is standing like on the edge of a pitch. Okay, Blackheart is pretty damn cool. Gonna have to figure out how to get him back on the pitch here. Just have to work it. I have to get some Blackheart games on the schedule for myself to stop playing Alchemist so damn much. Okay. Okay. So yeah, sadly, he gets a purple base like that. So he can match the rest of my Union team. All right, let's let this dry. Pretty damn stoked over that. Very subtle. I mean, he's a dead match for my other Blackheart. My other, I should say, living Blackheart model. I have the dead Blackheart model too. Okay, let him dry for a sec. Then we're gonna seal him up. We're gonna seal up him and Honor. So I'll close up my palette. I'm gonna show you Legends Honor. For those of you who may have missed her earlier in the program. So these are my last two Legends captains painted. Fun. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's get a seal coat on these guys. Seal them up. Up next for me, I need a new goal marker for my alchemist. So I have some thoughts around what I might do. I'm a little excited about what I might do. It's going to be somewhat unconventional, but very fun to paint. You could argue whether or not it really matches the guild, but I don't care. It looks cool. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to mix up some satin varnish. All right. So yeah, pretty excited about these models. And then at some point, Rookie Salvo, or as Filipinos like to call him, Rookie Salvaje. Rookie Salvaje coming in. It's going to be super fun to paint. What do I do with that? Bruxo. There it is. So a little satin varnish. Seal these puppies up. You see that Legends Honor. Super fun model to paint, as you can see. And here's the guy we did tonight. Legends Blackheart. Simple paint job, very simple. Not much to do here, but I think he came out pretty nice. See the design on the back there. And yeah, just locking them up with our varnish. Let's give Honor another coat. Those are pretty well protected. Okay. And we'll clear them out. Clear out the airbrush. Super fun. Super, super duper fun. Okay. And there we go. That's what we got, man. That's our program. We painted one miniature. Weird. I don't do that very often anymore. But I did this for me, and it's super fun. Really like doing that. Look at him. He's judging you. Why are you not doctor? You're engineer. What is the message? It's like very Genghis Khan. What? I will come to your country and we will invade you. I will cook meat in a helmet. Anyways. And she's cool. She's cool. Yeah, Honor's fun too. Damn, I need to play some Masons too. Honor's freaking cool. I like them. I like them. Look, they're a couple. This is me and my wife, right? my wife is the blonde. She's bossing people around. You doing this and I'm like just sitting back and judging. We make a good couple, you and me. We both have double dodge, 1 damage, momentous double dodge on 2. That's right, we both have it. Anyway. Oh dear God, why did we watch this? Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Well, I thank everyone for watching. I cracked myself up. I don't know. Have a good night, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.